Hello, Adam here. Very happy to have you again today. Today I've got a really nice scene. It's just kind of a basic landscape scene, but this is one of those paintings that anyone really can do. Even if you're very much a beginner, give this one a try. I know you can do it. Let's get to the video. Enjoy. Okay, so we'll get started here. I've got my 16 by 20 canvas in a vertical position today. It's already covered in a thin coat of liquid white. If you want to see how I put on liquid white, I've got a video just for that. All right, I'm going to reach down here and grab my 2-inch brush. This is the same brush that I used to put on the liquid white, and I'm just going to come up here and go right into some phthalo blue. I just get a little on the bristles here. This is a very free and easy painting today. Just wanted to have a good time. Don't stress about this too much. Just find a couple places, get some paint on here. No big deal. See that? Really no rhyme or reason to it. I'll wipe that out just a little bit, and I'll come up into some Prussian blue. I'll just make the corners just a little bit darker. Seems like when you make the corners a little darker, it just kind of helps to frame in the picture a little bit. So I like to do that. Okay. I'm going to grab a dry 2-inch brush now, and I'll start in the light areas. Now just blend this out, focusing mostly in the light areas. It's going to drag some of that blue into the light. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to use those lighter areas to kind of give me a guide to put my clouds in. All right, and I just kind of use some crisscross strokes, but really just go over it, just trying to take out some of the harsh brush lines. But you know, some of those streaks can stay in there because we're going to cover them up with some pretty large clouds today. I'm going to put in some big old fluffy clouds. All right, I'll set that brush down, and I'm going to grab a 1-inch brush for clouds today. A lot of times I use a fan brush, but today we're going to make some big old clouds. So I'll just put quite a bit of titanium white on a 1-inch brush. Just load it pretty full. There we go. And let's come right up in here. So these areas here, we're kind of left the white spots. I'm just going to use that for a guide. I'll start right over here. Right where it's already light, I'll just twirl my brush. These will be some big old fluffy clouds. Okay. I'll wipe that out from time to time just to keep it clean. Put another one in over here. You don't have to follow the pattern of the white that's left over exactly, but just as a guide. And one more right up over here. Okay. Big old fluffy clouds. I'll put that down and grab my mop brush and just go over it. Just spin lightly. Just let all this kind of blend and thin out. It'll look wispy in some spots, and it'll look thicker and brighter in spots. And that's kind of how a sky is when you look at clouds. And you know, it's the middle of the day or something like that. The sun bounces around in all kind of ways. Depending on exactly how the clouds are put together, the light may hit in certain spots and not so much in other spots. And you never really know how it's going to turn out. So it's really hard to mess up clouds. And again, all I'm doing is just gently just turning this mop brush. One of the best tools out there for clouds. All right. Now see, you got a hair left over. I'll just grab a fan brush and flick it off. No big deal. If it messes my cloud up, I just grab my brush and just spin a little more. All I got to do. All right, let's make some mountains. I'll put that down. I'll grab my palette knife and I'm just going to grab some blue. It's a little bit of Prussian blue, a little bit of phthalo blue, and just kind of mix it right there and grab a little bit of white. All right. And for these mountains today, let me get a little bit of brown just to subdue that, just a little bit. We want these mountains to look in the distance, but we want to keep them with a nice cool color. All right. So to make mountains look in the distance, one of the things you can do is just make them really light colored. Okay, so we'll just make a really light colored mountain. Bring that down right there and bring this down over here. Just scrape that color down. There we go. I'll go back to my big brush and just drag this down. All I got to do. Keep it nice and light and fluffy at the bottom. All right, this painting today, you should have no worries. Don't stress out. No anxiety. Free and easy. No big deal. I'll go back to my palette knife. Make sure it's wiped out. I'm going to grab some white. I just take some of this white and just kind of stretch it out and get some on the end of the knife there. And let's just start right up here. All right. And we'll just pull down gently. Again, we're not in a race here. I'm not trying to set a downhill record. We're just getting a little paint on here. Just pull and let it break if you can. That's all you got to do. Let's come over here to this peak. We'll do the same thing. We'll just pull and just let it break, whatever it wants to do. We'll let the mountain decide. There we go. All right, we'll put a shadow side on that, and let's see. How about we come up here? We'll get some of that. And let's mix this down here. And make it a little darker. Let's see what that looks like. You can always change it if it's not working out. No big deal. There we go. Don't need it to stand out a whole lot. I just need to put a little texture on it, really. That's all I'm really going for. Just a little texture. Hopefully you can see that. All right. And I'll grab my mop brush. Just come down here and just kind of mist this out a little. That'll help set it into the distance. Keep it nice and misty. I'll even mist up over here some. One of the great things about this mop brush. Really builds clouds and mist probably better than any other tool if you ask me. All right. We got a nice little mountain there kind of sitting off in the distance. You know, if you kind of follow the angle of the mountain here, that can help at times. Not always necessary, but sometimes it helps. Just give it a try, see if you like it. All right. Okay, let me go down here and grab my 2-inch brush again, and I'm just going to get a little bit of green, not a lot. I'm going to come up into this blue color I've been working with. I think I want what I'm doing here to be mostly blue, but a hint of green in there. About to make some background foothills. Still want them to be very much in the distance. So I like this blue color for that. So let's just see what this looks like. I'll just come right over here. Right about here. There we go. Yeah, just like that. And we'll just bring these down and let some of this mist here just kind of show real good for a separator. I'll bring this straight across here and continue to work this hill until I got it all filled in. And all I'm doing is just tapping. Just tapping. And the variation of color here, that's great. That's great. A lot of little trees back there, thousands and thousands and thousands of trees. And when you see the brush line just a little bit, or the brush marks, it helps to look like trees. Way back there in the distance. Okay, set that down, grab our mop brush. Again, practicing good technique. Let's mist the bottom of this out. We might need it. Just mist that out and get aggressive with it a little bit. Just kind of bring this down into here. Make the whole scene right now kind of look like it's just floating. All right. And we'll set the mop brush down. And I'm going to grab a large fan brush now. This is a number 6 fan brush from my collection. All right, I've got a number 6 and a number 4. If you're interested in my brushes, I got links for that in the description to the video. And let's just grab a little brown and back into this blue. So I got brown and blue. Might even grab a little white. I want to keep this kind of light. Still in the distance here what we're doing, but I do want to change the color here just slightly. We'll start right over here. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. I'm just pushing straight in and allowing the fan brush to, well, kind of fan out. There we go. Bring that down some, let some of those rolling hills show through. And let's see, we'll bring that somewhere over into here. I guess we'll just bring it all the way over, just in case. Sometimes just, even if you think it's going to get covered up, just bring it over just in case. Never really know. Vary the heights a little bit of these trees. Okay. Now, starting right here, I really don't need to mist the bottom of these out. I'm just going to grab my 2-inch brush, same old dirty brush I've been using. I'm going to get some green, a little bit of brown. I'm going to start getting a little warmer in tone. Yeah, let's get a little yellow. I'm just going to draw in some land right here. Let's see, let me start right here. I'm going to determine the height of these trees. Yeah, right there. I think I got my trees a little too tall, so I'm just going to wipe them out. There we go. Let's get some color in here. Draw this in there. All right. Now I'm bringing all that forward. Bringing it all forward now. Now just get this color in here. That's all I got to do. All background stuff here. Don't worry about it too much. Okay. I can set that down. I can grab a liner brush, run right through a little brown, right through that little color mix. It'll look darker. I can just kind of put in a few trunks back here. Don't need to do too much. Trees are very, very far away, but when you put a few trunks in them, then the eye starts to interpret them as large trees, not just bushes. All right, let's set that down, and I'm gonna go back to my fan brush. Get a little bit of that color, and just gonna work this a little bit. Just a little. Kind of wanna just see this, work this in, blend it a little. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Probably wondering what in the world am I doing? And I get it. All right, let me wipe that fan brush out just a little bit, just to get some of the brown out, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to come right into some yellow. That'll make kind of a dirty yellow. That's okay. And let's just put some bright spots in here. Just brighten it up. That's where the sun's zinging in spots. Isn't that cool? I'm kind of putting a little rocking motion to it. I just think it kind of looks good. Kind of looks like a beaten down little trail coming our way. And I'll push a little harder as we come to us and really get some of this yellow on here. And I'll just fill that in just quickly. Some of it will get covered up here in a moment. Got all kinds of work left to do. This is really a lot of undertones. Okay. All right, let's start to put a little contrast in the painting now. So I'll grab some Van Dyke brown, a little green. And let's come up here. About right over in here. Just put a little piece of land. I'm just pushing this in and letting it touch when it bends up, and that looks like all kinds of sticks and twigs and grassy things. Now just pull this backward. Pull it backward. Pull out a shadow, kind of set it on a hill a little bit. You can pull the front out a little bit as well. There we go. Kind of blend that in. Just a little landmass right there. I'll get some more paint and we'll put another one in right over here. Just touch and let it bend up. Just bring it on out over there. Same thing. I just kind of drag the bottom back. Kind of help set it into the painting. Maybe this looks like shadows. Kind of makes it look like it's sitting on a hill a little bit, don't it? There we go. Maybe that land comes down like that. All right. And before I go too much further, I'm gonna grab a clean fan brush, just a smaller one, get a little white, a little yellow. I think I'm gonna make some even brighter spots in here. Yeah, there we go. Make it even brighter, just in spots. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, we can work on that some more later, and I probably will. But I was about to do some work right over in here. I'm gonna grab a liner brush and a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Just gonna build a little tree right here. Just let that kind of wiggle its way up. Just a little tree. Maybe a few pieces of grass, and some of that may get covered up. All right, let me go back to my fan brush. That same old dirty fan brush. And get some green. I'm gonna get a little yellow. All right. There's all kind of paint on there. I'll just smush some of it out a little bit. And right over in here, how about a real easy way to make a couple trees? I'll just do like this. I'll just push it straight in. Now just turn it, bring it up. Just let it get thicker at the bottom. There we go. Maybe this is just a little clump of cedar trees or something sitting right here. Let's make another one right here. Again, so just push, make a little line, bring it down, then just bring it back up. It'll be thinner at the top than the bottom. We just kind of make these upward branches, just little trees. Another little one right here. the little tree sitting in this little landmass right here. Okay. Good for now. And let's go back to that big brush. I just get a little color on it, go right into that little mix of color I had right there. It's kind of a green color right down here at the bottom, and I'll just push this in right here. Do that, just push it in and let the bristles bend up. Bring this down over here. Somewhere in there. Now we're about to have some fun. This is what you all probably saw when you clicked on the video. Those big old trees. Let's build some big trees. All right, for that, let me grab my filbert brush and we'll go right into some Van Dyke brown. Let's get all kind of paint on that thing. How about right here? We'll just come all the way up, mostly straight, but slightly angled forward just a little bit. Big tree. Okay. Try to keep it darker here at the back side. Don't worry about this, you know. This is easy. This is just putting on a lot of paint. That's all it is. Reload, and maybe this tree just kind of splits out right here. Comes over this way. Goes all the way to the edge. Completely covers the edge of the canvas over here. All right. A lot of paint. Big oak tree. That looks great. Okay, and now once we got our little, I guess the base of the tree color established, let's bring that down a little bit. There we go. I'll go back to my palette knife. I'll grab a little red, a little brown, and mix that up right here. And put a little red in this tree. These are some western red pines or something to that effect. And all I got to do is just start here. Actually, I'm just going to cover really the whole tree because I'm going to go back and highlight with some lighter color in a little bit. This is just getting some of that red tone in there, and it's also putting some texture, tree bark texture on this tree. All right, it's putting tree bark texture on the tree. Yeah, there we go. And all I'm doing, just putting a little bit of paint on the palette knife, and I'm just kind of pulling over. Just pulling over a little bit. That's it. That's all you got to do. Touch and pull over and pull back off, and make it kind of random. Let it overlap some. It'll kind of look like tree bark. It very much will look like tree bark. Very, very nice effect. Okay, I'll wipe that out, and I'll make a lighter version. I'll grab some white. Just mix that right there in the same pile of paint we had. Let's go back over it. Right here on this side. Now we've got our highlight. I think that's where the light is coming from in this picture. I'll just go over it a couple times just to kind of mix it together. Maybe this one back here is getting shaded by the front tree a little, so it may not be as bright on the highlight. Okay. Good. All right, now before I move on to one of the final things we're going to do, this is kind of our last chance. So if you want to work with more highlighting, more light and shadow and stuff in here, this is kind of when you got to do it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Grab a little bit of this kind of white and yellow mix, and I don't in some spots, I'm just going to brighten it up even further. Make some light spots zing in there really good. This kind of makes the painting a little bit more interesting. Some good light colors poking through. A little bit back there too. Okay, I guess we're done with that now. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my fan brush. It's got all kinds of paint in that thing. Just gonna come over here and get some more paint. Pretty much brown. Kind of a brown greenish color at this point. I'm just gonna take this brush and ride over this. It seems kind of crazy. I'm just gonna take it and just put some big old branches. All right, there'll be some big old branches, kind of forcing them to go up a little bit, come back down on this side. Okay, keeping them thin enough though to see a lot of that sky and those clouds and things like that. And I got some from this tree over here, so I'll give them maybe a little bit different angle. And you got to decide how far you want to come down. And I think I'm going to come down a little far. I was going to go right in front of that little tree. Maybe that wasn't so great. That's okay. Somewhere in there. I think we'll stop and let all that show. Okay. All right. That's all you got to do with that. I'm going to go back to my smaller brush now. Get some green, yellow. This will be our highlight color. And I'm going to reach over here. I got some liquid white. Just thin this down some. All right. I try to stay away from thinning paint, but sometimes you have to in this technique. That'll be one of the very last things that I do when I have to do that. Okay. I'll come back over the top of all this and just kind of the same thing. Just put some color right over the top of these big old branches. All right, don't have to be perfect. Some of it will shine through. Nice. Very, very, very nice. Okay. I think we'll call that good for this big old tree here. Both of these trees. Hope you enjoyed doing these trees, but we got one more thing to do. All right. We got to go down to the bottom of this. Got to cover this tree here. Cover the bottom of it. Don't need to spend too much time, and we'll set that down and go to our liner brush. And I'm just going to get some green and just kind of whatever. Let's just put some big old pieces of grass in here. That nice dark grass going over that light color. Very nice contrast. This is going to take a minute. So how about while I do this grass, I'll show you guys some of the paintings that you all have been doing. Okay, weren't those great? Please keep those paintings coming. Even if you do one of your own paintings, that's fine. Send it to me. I'll be happy to show it. You guys are doing a really, really great job. Okay, all I've done here is continue to work with some green and some brown for the most part. I'll even, I'm going to come up here and grab some red. Put a couple of red blades of grass in there. That happens out in the wilderness. And grab a little white, little yellow, and just for some contrast. Look at that, right there. Some light is coming in and hitting right there. And I think we'll call this painting complete. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to call this painting complete just yet. I had one more thing I wanted to do. Pick up my fan brush. I wanted to put in another tree or two right here. Just kind of a smaller one, just to fill that in and fill that in. See, a little bit darker, just to make this a little bit more of a clump of trees. Can't really see exactly what's going on. There. I think I might like that just a little bit more. And we can also grab that liner brush. I'm just running it through some dark color. All right. Maybe stick up a couple little sticks and twigs and stuff in that little grouping of trees. There we go. Now, we'll call this one complete. I really hope you enjoyed this painting. I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you check out my brushes. The links will be in the description to the video. Until next time, be blessed, and remember, if I can paint, you can too. See you next time.